Hey everybody, this is going to be a video of these two German pistols here. On this side we have the Walther P99AS, and on this side we have the H&K P2000, both in 9mm, both with their standard capacity magazines. And this one has the Talon grips on it, and this one has the large back strap on it. This has the medium back strap with the Talon grip tape over top of that. Alright, let's just go through these two pistols. Both of them are clear, of course. I do have other videos of this. This is I believe this is the V3 they call it. This is double action, single action with the decocker button right here. Modifications I've done, I put in the competition H&K trigger hammer spring and flat base plates for the magazines. You can see there. I do have the rubberized finger extension base plate on the other magazine. And then I put the HK45C extended magazine release buttons on there, so those are a little bit easier to actuate than what comes on the pistol from the factory. This does have the Trijicon, see what they call these, H3s, night sights on it. And they're okay. I guess if I was gonna, like I think I said in the other video, if I had night sights, I prefer they be two different color, and this is not. They are all green dots. So I'm not crazy about them, but they are what they are. So we're gonna do a weight comparison and a size comparison, and just talk about the differences in these pistols. They are both double action, single action. However, this is a striker fired pistol. When you cock it, which we will do when I show you that it is clear, you'll see that the striker indicator came to the back, and then if you press this decocker button, it disappears. So this is a P99AS. This is a 2015 model. There were some generational changes in these over the years, something to do with the trigger guard, the length of the magazine release. This is ambidextrous magazine release. Same paddle style as the H&K has, just a little bit different lever system. This is 15 round standard capacity, and I do have a 17 round factory magazine. PPQ M1 and this, that both have this style mag release, are the exact same mag. So the mag box that it came in says PPQ M1, but they're identical. They work in both guns. So I just put these Talon grips on it yesterday. They had a Black Friday sale on these, $5 off, free shipping, so they were $12.99 shipped. And this gun from the factory is very slippery. It doesn't have the stippling of the updated PPQ. So this grip helps out. Grip tape, decal grip, whatever you want to call it, helps out tremendously on this. You can see I have some oil residue on the front there. So this is, again, 9mm double action, single action. So you'll see this would be a double action pull because we just decocked it. So it is the long full pull, and if it was cocked, you can stage it, and then it's a super light pull right there, and then it goes back to double action unless a round went off and cycled the slide, then it would go back to just your single action. Super short reset, that's the reset and the pull on that. Outstanding trigger. I did do a modification on this because I've done it on other ones, and I read on the Walther forums that it is reliable, and I put in a Glock 17, pretty much any 9mm Glock striker spring, put that on the striker assembly on this one, and it does reduce your double action trigger pull by about 1 pound to 2 pounds, and still ignites all primers from the factory so far. So I do recommend that mod. I mean, the striker spring from the factory on these, the Walther one, is so much longer than the Glock one. I think it's about almost a ½ inch longer, that it bulges in different spots, so it drags on the striker channel, whereas the Glock striker spring fits perfectly on there, and it doesn't have that like when you kink a spring because it's too long and you're trying to get into a small position, it doesn't do that. So in theory it would be a smoother striker action, I would suppose. But we're almost at the 5-minute mark already, so I guess we'll go on to some measurements, and let's just do side-by-side comparisons first. So you can see, trying to get these both in frame, that the overall length of the P99 is just a hair longer, but not by much when you consider that this has that hammer sticking out. So if we do it this way, you'll see that it's really not more than a 1/4 inch or less. Height wise, they're identical, even though this has a 15 round capacity and this is a 13 round capacity. So let's look at the magazines and see what kind of difference we have there. Barely any. The Walther on the right hand over here is probably 2 to 3 millimeters taller. So I've heard different theories on why HK does reduce their mag capacity, because I know a lot of people complain that the VP9 is only 15 rounds when guns the same size as that are 17. And people have said that, well, H&K does that on purpose to increase the mag reliability for more years. So I'm happy. 13 rounds plus 1 on this. That's plenty for me for carry. It's a perfect size. It's a hair smaller than a Glock 19. Weight-wise, though, let's go on to that, and then I'll give you guys a width dimension. So I'm going to pull the scale out. You won't be able to see it in frame until I put the gun on there and move it up. So let's move this one out of the way. Mind you, these are unloaded with a magazine in. 25.15 ounces on the P2000. P99AS, 24.44 ounces. So a little bit lighter on this, even though a larger capacity, but again, you know, you're talking a hammer mechanism versus striker mechanism, and there is more moving parts in this HK than there is in this Walther. So we got weights now, so let's go on. I'll pull out the calipers here and we'll talk about some of the measurement dimensions here. So good old Harbor Freight tools. In the grip, center of the grip, you can see where I'm getting that. We are at 1.17 inches. Let's go back to front. Mind you, that is the large grip back strap. I feel that is the medium and small back straps on these are not don't have this rubberized like Hogue-like texture, and the large and the extra large do. And the extra large comes up on there, which I don't need that, but I do need that large. So I'll do it down here on the bulge, and I'll measure it in the same spot on the Walther. 2.34. So we were at 1.17, was it? 1.16, 1.17, and 2.34. So put that one down. Let's move on to this one. Let's get it in the same spot. Now mind you, there's a bit of a palm swell. It's a little bit different texture. 1.23, but it moved. So let's get it like that. 1.20 in the thickest part of the swell with the Talon grip tape on there. So again, the Talon grip tape's not going to give you much more, but it will add up to probably hundredths on there. So let's try it in a different spot. 1.21. Down at the bottom it is 1.07. So you can see it does taper. And then we're going to do it back to front. So let's get it in that part of that bulge. And mind you, this was the medium back strap on here, 2.20. So whereas this one has a bump right here too. So 2.25, 2.24. So they're pretty much identical, and they both do feel outstanding in the grip. This one, these sides are really slick on here, but I don't want to put a grip tape on this, because the part right here, that's factory stippling. It looks like aftermarket, but that's how they do it from the factory. And then this rubberized here, and you can see the L. That is the large. In this one, so on this one they do a bevel right there. In this one they do too. You can see that. So to actuate your mag release, I find it's easier to use your trigger finger on these than it is to come in with the thumb. But they're both okay. So we're almost at 10 minutes on here. I'm trying to think if there is anything else that I want to cover on these. We did width. We did grip width. Oh, let's do slide width. 1.12 Walther, 1.12 on the H&K. So H&K P2000 would be your ideal size as opposed to like your VP9. The H&K P2000 would be your better bet for concealed carry. And this is not much bigger. It's basically identical dimension-wise to a Glock 19, and everybody kind of considers the Glock 19 the essential concealed carry double stack pistol. So I got rid of mine because I was catching brass to the face too often with it, despite trying several different extractors. But I did like it because I did do the undercut on it, and I did do the finger bump removal and stippled the front strap and everything. If you guys watch Firearm Guy's channel, him and I did the trade, and that's kind of a roundabout way that I ended up with this pistol. So I like them both. I like the fact that this is a striker, but it gives you some different carry type options. I obviously would carry this decocked, and then I like the fact that follow-up shots would be so light and short. Let's look at the reset on this real quick, and then I'll wrap up the video here. So this would be a double action fire. Slide would cycle. Resets there. So it's quite a bit farther than the Walther. Single action pull on this. You can see it moves, it brings the trigger back. Let me decock that and move this out of the way and show you guys again. So hammers back, the trigger moved. Here's your take up, goes all the way back to there, and then bang, super light. So really cool. I like them both. I don't think I'll get rid of either of them because they kind of serve different purposes, but I wouldn't mind carrying either one. And I do have different holsters. I have more holsters for this, I should say. I have an inside the waistband, I have a cross draw, and I have an outside the waistband, whereas this one I only have an inside the waistband at the moment. Their holsters are almost similar enough that you could probably, like if it was a loose leather one, you could probably get away with using either gun in either one. Although this does have that bevel up here at the front, where this one is a continuous rectangular shape. So thank you guys for watching. I just kind of wanted to show you these two different German guns that aren't so different after all. So thanks. Always appreciate that thumbs up button, and you guys shoot safe.